Before our formal program begins, we're honored to present pre-show entertainment. Please welcome to the stage the Ballet Arizona Native American Youth Hoop Dancers for a special performance.
Yate, my name is Ginger Sykes-Torres, and before I start, I want to thank my friend, Secretary of State Adrian Fontes, and his staff for having us here today for such a special occasion. I'm Navajo of the Totochitni clan, born for the Bilagana, and I'm excited to be here tonight, along with my friend, Eva Big Horse, Eva Wave, of the Cayuga Nation and the Navajo Nation. The Native American Hoop Dance is a storytelling dance with roots in the United States and Canada. In 2020, I and other community members partnered with Ballet Arizona to co-found and teach a free traditional Native hoop dance class for Native American youth in the Phoenix area, providing a unique opportunity for Native youth to connect with their cultural heritage through dance. The program has grown in the past 5 years to serve over 50 kids throughout the valley. The class is now taught by experienced Native American hoop dancers Eva Big Horse and Sky Duncan. We are proud to nurture and empower the next generation of hoop dancers to dance, take pride in their tribal identity, and carry themselves with honor. The 14 hoop dancers you are about to see are all part of of Ballet Arizona's Native American hoop dance program. They range in age from 7 years old to 13 years old and come from many different tribes of North America. Some have been hoop dancing since they could walk, and some have just begun to learn how to dance in the past few years. Just like we have come together today for the common good, the hoop dance reminds us that all life on earth is connected. The hoop, for many Native American tribes, symbolizes the never-ending cycle of life. It represents health, the changing seasons, and with no beginning and no end, it represents the interconnectedness of the past, the present, and the future. We dance today with joy, love, and deep respect for our ancestors. We dance for our families, and we dance for those that cannot dance. I also want to thank singer and 2022 world champion dancer Samson Six Killer Sinqua from the Acoma, Atam, Hopi, Tiwa, Cherokee, and Choctaw tribes, and also Zach Smith, who's of the Navajo, Hopi, and Choctaw tribes, for honoring the power and heartbeat of Mother Earth with a hoop dance song for us today. Without further ado, please welcome the Ballet Arizona Youth Hoop Dancers.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ballet Arizona Native American Youth Hoop Dancers. Friends and neighbors, welcome to Two Lights for Tomorrow, a commemoration of the midnight ride of Paul Revere. Our programming starts in 15 minutes, and we invite you to stay following the program to enjoy our exhibitors, food trucks, music from Phoenix Symphony Quartet, and Arizona Natives One Way Sky. Thank you to Arizona Army National Guard. And now, please welcome their 108th Army Band's Brass Quintet. Arizona Army National Guard and their 108th Army Band's Brass Quintet. Welcome to our viewers watching at home through Cox Communications Your View and the Secretary of State's YouTube channel. Our formal programming is starting now. Please welcome Cristosela from Chichino Spirit Hohodam Group to offer a land acknowledgement.
Skughudanek, what's the chamwe? Anya Chigit Christopher Dawsala, Anya Amjad, Kuriakimur, Anya Gomki Chichino Amjad. And this is my family here. Our group is called Chichino Spirit. We come from the village of Chichino on the Gila River Indian Reservation. We are known as the Akimarathem people. Our ancestors, Hukyo Atem, this was their land. All of the Phoenix area was their land. Before the coming of the Europeans, this was our ancestral land. We have names for every single one of these mountains here in our language. When the Spanish conquistadors came here to the Arizona territory, they came across our ancestors and they asked them, they said, ¿Cómo se llama? Well, do you think our ancestors spoke Spanish? So they replied, Pimach. Pimach means, I don't know. So then those conquistadors said, Oh, aquí los gente, Pima Indios. They named us the I don't know Indians. And so that's where the word Pima comes from. So if you have any, if there's a senator here or an elected official from Pima County, I don't know county. If any of you went to Pima Medical Institute, I don't want you as my nurse. Again, Pima. But we call ourselves the Akimarathem, the river people. Our language is spoken from here all the way into Mexico. We have my brothers here. My brother to my right here, he's from Salt River, which is on the other side of Scottsdale. And then my brother here, in front of me to my left, he's from the Tohono O'odham Nation, which is next to Tucson, Arizona. And so again, we are a group of O'odham, and that's how we call ourselves in our language. Again, we're doing this land acknowledgement, recognizing that we are the original inhabitants, and we welcome all of you here this time. Sapa. Bag bage o henga, bag bage o henga, ame hanana to, bag hanona I pevo kanyai, oya aya, vanye kanyai ta. Bag bage o henga, bag bage o henga, ame hanana to, bag hanona I pevo kanyai, oya aya, vanye kanyai ta. Ame hanana to, vahakanona I pevo kanyai, oya aya, vanye kanyai ta. Ame hanana to, vahakanona I pevo kanyai, oya aya, vanye kanyai ta. That is an eagle song. The United States bird is the eagle. We honor the eagle because he is the strongest bird in the sky. No one is stronger than him. And that's why our warriors would wear his feathers in battle, to have his strength. And with that, Thank you very much, and have a wonderful evening. Taihugay.
Crystal Sella and Chichino Otospitum Ohodam Group. Please welcome Yellowbird Productions for a performance and a welcome to Arizona. Please welcome Yellowbird Productions for a performance and a welcome to Arizona.
Yo way yo hey ya way ya hey ya hey ya hey ya tun tel hanayo nasiya yo way hey yo way yo hey ya way ya hey ya way ya hey ya tun tel hanayo nasiya yo way hey World War II gold Z tun tel hanayo nasiya ya way hey hey ya hey ya tun tel hanayo nasiya yo hey Korea gold Z tun tel hanayo nasiya ya way hey hey ya tun tel hanayo nasiya yo hey Vietnam gold Z tun tel hanayo nasiya ya way hey hey ya tun tel hanayo nasiya yo hey Persian Gulf gold Z tun tel hanayo nasiya ya way hey ya tun tel hanayo nasiya yo hey Soneko, Boston Soneko, Yanago Tata, Yo Hoi I Ha, Yo Hoi I Ha, Waya, Hey O We Ha Ya, Yo Hoi I Ha, Yo Hoi I Ha, Way I Ha, Waya, Hey O, Hey, Hey, Hey Ya, Hey Ya, Yo Ya I Ha, Yo Ya I Ha, Waya. Yo yo way ya ha way ya hey yo ya ha yo ya ha way ya yo way ya ha way ya hey yo way ya ha way ya way ya hey ya yo way ya ha yo way ya way ya way ya hey yo way ya hey ya yo ya ha way ya yo way ya ha way ya hey yo ya ha yo ya ha we ya, yo we ya ha, we ya hey yo we ya we ya ha, we ya ha, we ya hey ya, yo we ya ha, yo we ya ha, we ya ha, we ya hey yo. Den son echo, pasen son echo, tirago tata, yo we ya ha, yo we ya ha, we ya hey yo we ha ya, yo we ya ha, yo we ya ha, hey ya ha, we ya hey yo, hey ha, hey 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 ha, yo ya ha, yo ya ha, we ya, yo ya we ya ha, we ya hey yo, yo ya ha, yo ya ha, we ya, yo ya we ya ha, we ya hey yo. Soneco, pasen soneco, serago tata, yo hoy I ha, yo hoy I ha, we hey yo we ha ya, yo hoy I ha, yo hoy I ha, hoy I ha, we hey yo. Den soneco, pasen soneco, serago tata, yo hoy I ha, yo hoy I ha, we hey yo. Hoi ai ha, yo hoi ai ha, hoi ai ha, we hey yo, hey cha hey ha, hey 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 ha, yo ya ai ha, yo ya ai ha, we yo we ai ha, we hey yo, yo ya ai ha, yo ya ai ha, we yo we ai ha, we hey yo. Way I ha, yo way I ha, way I ha, way I ha, way I ha, wacha.
Yellow Bird Productions. Distinguished guests, friends and neighbors, please welcome the chair of the Arizona America 250 Commission, Secretary of State, Adrian Fontes.
Buenas noches a todos y todos. Good evening, Arizona. I'm Adrian Fontes, Arizona's 21st Secretary of State and the Chair of the Arizona America 250 Commission. I'm proud to MC this evening. Thank you all for coming and enduring a little bit of this East Coast weather we ordered in from Boston. Tonight we're here to honor the past, acknowledge the present, and look to the future as we light a path to America's 250th birthday on July the 4th, 2026. Our Semiquinncentenial celebrations, more commonly known as America 250, are happening throughout each of the 50 states and 16 territories as we speak, from Florida to Alaska, all over this great land. By coming together at Arizona's state capitol, we are privileged to kick off our celebration while being surrounded by some of the most beautiful tributes to our shared history. Behind you throughout Wesley Boland Plaza, there are at least 30 memorials honoring events, individuals, and organizations, like the Arizona Suffragettes, one of the newest memorials, Navajo Code Talkers, Spanish missionary Father Kino, and an installation of an anchor from the USS Arizona retrieved from Pearl Harbor. One of my favorite memorials is the pair of battleship guns anchoring the end of the plaza. One came from the USS Arizona, which bore witness to the very beginning of America's entry into the Second World War. The other, from the USS Missouri, stood watch over the Japanese Empire's unconditional surrender that brought that same war to a close. 2 guns, 2 lights. Not a bad metaphor for Arizona itself. And just to prove history doesn't always live in marble and museums, did you know that the very flag that flew over the USS Missouri during that surrender ceremony is currently housed at the public library in St. John's, Arizona? In many ways, tonight's event, Two Lights for Tomorrow, reminds us of how important storytelling is to our history. Some of us have traditions of honoring our ancestors by remembering their names. Others might fondly remember a family trip. And then there are professionals like those who work for Arizona's state libraries and archives, who dedicate their careers to preserving the history and heritage of those who shape Arizona's promise and Arizona's dreams. Arizona's history reminds us all that resilience and innovation have always been our strengths, from ancient canals and cliffside pueblos to modern cities and diverse communities. This land and its people have never shied away from adversity. Our libraries, I'll take the liberty of saying, stand as bastions of knowledge and truth, offering light in an age of uncertainty. Tonight we express our deepest gratitude to Holly Henley, Arizona's 9th state librarian. Her leadership ensures that our state history, yes, please give her a round of applause. Her leadership ensures that our state's history and resources remain relevant and accessible for anyone wishing to deepen their education and understanding. Here's some background on the America250 Commission. In 2022, the legislature created, through Senate Bill 1497, which was sponsored by Senator Vince Leach. You'll hear a little more from him this evening. That's how we ended up being created. When I took the role of chair, we worked to develop the Commission's vision and mission. From there, we established a set of guiding values capturing the acronym RISE. It is reminiscent of an Arizona sunrise. As you enjoy tonight's performances, I encourage you to keep these 4 guiding values in mind. The first value is respect. We're here to celebrate the plurality of voices, histories, and legacies that define Arizona. This land has long been home to many tribal nations, Mormon pioneers, Spanish explorers, and families from every background who traveled, settled, and built their lives under our extensive skies. Democracy thrives when we remember our own humanity and dignity by respecting others, regardless of our differences. Next, inclusive collaboration. Every single one of you is a vital part of this commemorative journey. Whether you were born here, arrived yesterday, or trace your roots to indigenous or pre-recorded history, you have a right to have your voice heard in telling our collective story. Stewardship and service. Arizona's America250 Commission encourages your active participation in our nation's future, whether that be by volunteering, your time supporting veterans and military families, or preserving environment and historical sites. This is part of stewardship and service. And finally, but not least, education. We learn from the struggles and triumphs of our forebears, and in doing so, we pass on down to our children the wisdom, and to our grandchildren and future generations. While tonight's ceremony does fall on Good Friday, the National America250 Commission couldn't let the actual anniversary of Paul Revere's midnight ride pass unmarked. Exactly 250 years ago, on April 18th, 1775, Revere slipped into the night on horseback, carrying the spark of revolution with him. This evening, Two Lights for Tomorrow events are lighting up communities nationwide, from the shores of the 7 Hawaiian Islands to the steeple of Boston's Old North Church, and all the way across the windswept Great Plains. By the way, this is not in the script, but I'll tell you, this celebration is the largest one west of the Mississippi River. So give yourselves a round of applause for that, Arizona. This evening we remember those places. We also turn inwards. It takes courage to confront injustice, to acknowledge where we have fallen short, and to remain and reaffirm our commitment to justice and truth. Let us carry forward that spirit of resilience, hope, and courage as we continue striving for a more just and equitable future. Honored leadership from our military is here with us tonight, along with active duty service members and my fellow veterans. When I earned that Marine Corps Eagle Globe and Anchor, I joined the ranks of the few and the proud. That is what really solidified my love of country and my willingness to sacrifice. We honor our tribal leaders who are here with us this evening. They symbolize the resilience of their people and the continuance of those cultures and traditions from time immemorial, whose history makes 250 years seem quite quaint. We must also recognize our elected officials, county supervisors, mayors, city council members, and legislators who have made journeys all the way from Yuma and Greenlee County, from El Mirage, and our own mayor right here in Phoenix. Could all those individuals I just mentioned, including our military leaders and veterans, please rise or raise your hand so we can show you our appreciation. Thank you for your service to the American people. In November of last year, aside from this little thing called a presidential election, my office held another election for a statewide logo contest to help set a visual identity for the Arizona America250 Commission. We had so many artists, designers, and creative minds submit their ideas. Before I continue, I want to express sincere gratitude to the top 10 finalists, some of whom are here this evening. They really captured Arizona's stunning landscapes and paid tribute to our cultural heritage and guiding values of RISE. Arizona's 5 C's were also memorialized. Now, if you don't remember all of the 5 C's, we can go over those later. But for now, let's give the 10 finalists a nice round of applause for participating in that contest. And now I'd like to take a moment and recognize Ms. Riley Hammett, our logo contest winner, along with her parents, Brooke and Steve. As soon as Riley was declared the winner, they were extremely supportive. I got to meet them right away. We did some TV. She's here along with her grandparents, her twin sisters, Haley, and her brother Jason, and so many aunts and uncles. Hammett family, stand up and take a bow. Riley right there, our logo contest winner. Wave to the crowd, Riley. She's been treated like a VIP since then. That's great. Next, I want to recognize our generous supporters and exhibitors who gave entirely of themselves to lend their supports for Two Lights for Tomorrow. This event is funded entirely with private funds. No taxpayer money was used tonight, so politics, take a back seat while we honor our supporters who help us celebrate Arizona's rich history. Without these sponsors and their investment, this event would not have been possible. So let's talk just a little bit about them, if you'll indulge me. Coming in at the highest level of support, our Founders Circle, we recognize Banner Health for standing proudly beside Arizona America250 Commission and exemplifying their long-standing commitment to health and well-being of our communities. Next, we thank Vitalist Foundation and TAP AZ, whose partnership in the Liberty Tier provides the spark we need to catalyze states' awareness for those who shaped our nation's past. Salt River Project, also known as SRP, is our RISE partner. Remember the 4 themes I mentioned earlier? They know what it means to rise to the occasion. Thank you, Salt River Project. I'd like to very much give a shout out to Sunt Construction because they volunteered their time, their talent, their treasure, and they will be building a new base, a new ceremonial base for our replica Liberty Bell that you're going to hear about after the bell has gone on tour around the state. You're going to hear more about that later, but let's give Sunt Corporation a big round of applause for all of their support. Our 5C sponsor tier, I'm grateful to support for the support of Mayo Clinic, Greater Phoenix Leadership. We're proud to partner with institutions that represent Arizona's enduring leadership and strengths. Thank you to the Mayo Clinic and to Greater Phoenix Leadership. In our Cactus supporter tier, the City of Phoenix. Thank you, Phoenix. Your support helps us uplift the independent spirit that we have. And finally, I'd like to thank our in-kind supporters, including Waste Management for the sanitation facilities this evening, Visit Phoenix for increasing our outside reach beyond Maricopa County, the Prescott Rodeo for their help with tonight's program, yeehaw to the Prescott Rodeo, and the Flynn Foundation for their commitment to civics and education, and of course, definitely not least, Cox Communication for making this night that we won't forget. And get this, we are live on TV on Cox Communication tonight, folks. A heartfelt welcome, by the way, to everyone who is watching at home or via live stream on your TV. Your participation, whether by TV or online, affirms that this is an event meant to light up every corner of our state. And now, I'd like to introduce you to the Arizona America250 Executive Director, Laura Tarek. Laura brings, yes, let's give her a round of applause for being in charge of this whole thing. Laura brings an incredible depth of experience and passion to her role. Before taking on her current position, Laura served as a dedicated school teacher, helping shape the minds and futures of Arizona's youth. She later brought that same passion to public service as a legislator right here in our House of Representatives. Her vision, leadership, and tireless advocacy have set the tone for Arizona's America250 Commission, and I know she will continue to be the best person to guide us through this historic commemoration. Laura, where are you? Take a bow right here in front. Thank you for everything, Laura. It's not easy to see through that giant light they got right in my face here. The Arizona America250 Commission itself is made up of 11 commissioners appointed by our executive and legislative leaders. These commissioners have given so much of their time and experience for no compensation to create meaningful opportunities for us to come together and celebrate 250 years of American progress here in Arizona. Please join me in recognizing our newest commissioners. Representative Justin Wilmoth, appointed by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, as well as Senator Vince Leach, appointed by the President of the Senate. Welcome to our two newest commissioners. I'd also like to thank Governor Hobbs for the following appointments to the commission, including my own. I not only chair the commission at large, but also have the privilege of serving as the chair for the Military and Veterans Affairs Subcommittee. Commissioners, please stand as I introduce you. Mr. Chairman Verlin Jose of the Tohono O'odham tribe was elected vice chairperson of the commission. He has been delayed and he may be here a little bit later, but let's give him a round of applause anyway. Mr. Marcus Carney represents the tourism industry. He co-chairs the Marketing, Social Media, Public Awareness Subcommittee and chairs both the Commemoration, Celebration, Events Subcommittee as well as Travel and Tourism. Marcus, right over there. Thank you. The Honorable Neil Giuliano represents the business community and chairs the Fundraising and Partnership Subcommittee. He's a big reason why we're all here tonight. Thank you, former Mayor Giuliano. Ms. Ashley Harder represents the Historic Preservation Community and is the chair of the History, Historic Preservation, and Heritage Subcommittee. Ashley Harder, right there, folks. Thank you, Ashley. Mr. Jay McCall represents fraternal organizations and leads an Arizona America250 publication in Southern Arizona. Where you at, Jay? Stand up and take a bow. It's out there somewhere. There you are. Miss Anna Needham represents the arts community, co-chairs the Marketing, Social Media, and Public Awareness Subcommittee, and chairs the Arts, Museums, and Cultural Institutions Subcommittee. Anna, Thank you very much for your service. Mr. Paul Teague represents the education community and is chair of the Civic Engagement, Education, Community, and Service Subcommittee. Thank you, Paul. And last but certainly not least, Ms. Sarah Rose Weber, representing the Parks Recreation Industry and chairs the Parks Recreation Nature and Wildlife Subcommittee. Thank you so much, Sarah, for your service. Let's give all the commissioners a nice round of applause. Now, while Paul Revere's ride in 1775 signaled the urgent call for freedom, our gathering tonight shines a slightly contrasting message. While independence was being declared on the coast, Arizona was witnessing its own collision of culture, language, religion, and identity. In commemorating our national Semiquinncentenial, we have a duty to remember all of Arizona's story. It is comfortable and uncomfortable at the same time. It is real and it is legendary. It is as real and legendary as America's story. For learning history's lesson, we have to learn them because otherwise we can't avoid those mistakes. Every family tree contributes a branch to the grand canopy over our state. Many of our residents trace their roots back centuries to this land, while others mark only a handful of memories here. I'm one of the lucky ones. My ancestry goes back far enough in this region that I have an ancestor who heard Mass given by Father Kino himself in 1695 when some of my forebears galloped through the desert, their creed, strength, and honor undoubtedly driving them through this arid land. I grew up on a ranch in Nogales, the twin cities of ambos Nogales, a place I still consider to be the most cosmopolitan small town on the planet. Since well before the Gadsden Purchase, families from all over the world lived, labored, and truly prospered in this centuries-old outpost. Now, let's not forget the inspirational contributions of our indigenous nations, Spanish settlers. Those who ventured west were forming the foundations that would later become an important part of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, as we reflect on our nation's journey, it's fitting that we begin by honoring the symbols that unite us all. Thank you.
Friends and neighbors, Chair of the Arizona America 250 Commission, Secretary of State, Adrian Fontes. Please stand and welcome the Sons of the American Revolution for the presentation of the colors, followed by our national anthem performed by Technical Sergeant Lisa Semino from the 161st Air National Guard.
colors.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming in the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please remain standing and welcome to the stage State Senator Vince Leach, the sponsor of the 2022 bill establishing the Arizona America250 Commission, who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
All those that are able, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hoorah. You can be seated. I've been asked to say a very few words about how this all started. And Mr. Secretary, you're knocking it out of the park. Thank you very much. This started really in about December of 21, and I'm looking in the front row to see where my counterpart had a constituent down in southern Arizona call me and said, you know, have you read anything about a birthday party for the United States of America in 2026? And I said, well, I thought I saw a headline. He said, we got to do something. We got together, and in 22, we got a bill passed through the Senate, through the House, signed by the governor, and that was the bill to enable the birthday party that you're going to see opening up tonight and unravel before you over the next several months as we get into the actual birthday party. It's been an honor for what started as a phone call to see this and to see the anticipation and the joy in celebrating the greatest nation in the world, the United States of America. Thank you very much.
Color guard, carry on. Color guard, right face. Color guard, mark time.
Go.
Friends and neighbors, born and raised right here in the Valley, please welcome Arizona's 24th Governor, Katie Hobbs.
Good evening, everyone. I am so happy to be here with all of you to celebrate this momentous occasion in American history. And I want to echo the Secretary's thanks to all of the commissioners. Thank you for answering the call when I asked you to serve on the commission. Thank you, Secretary Fontes, for chairing the commission. And I echo Senator Leach's comment. You all are hitting it out of the park. Thank you for making Arizona so proud with all the work that you did for tonight's event and all the many events that I know are to come in the next year. 250 years ago, a bold idea gave birth to a nation. The belief that opportunity, security, and freedom weren't just ideals, but promises worth fighting for. Since Arizona's founding in 1912, we have carried that spirit forward and continue to fight for that promise every day. Arizona has long been a place for opportunity, starting with the construction of Hoover Dam, which helped shape the Western America, creating thousands of jobs and unlocking the potential of the Southwest. It is a symbol of America's ability to rebuild and move forward. Today, Arizona's economy is booming. We're leading the way in the new frontier of semiconductor manufacturing and other advanced manufacturing, creating generational opportunities for Arizonans. Early on in its statehood, Arizona became a hub for military training bases. We are the proud home of 6 major military installations, like Luke Air Force Base and Fort Huachuca. These bases play a central role in ensuring that America is prepared for any and all challenges. These military installations laid the foundation for the aerospace and defense industry that continues to blossom here. Along with our military installations, Arizona-based industry giants, Honeywell, Boeing, and Lockheed Martin are keeping Americans safe. The Wild West of Arizona has always been a place that fights for freedom. Starting with statehood, when women led the way to women's suffrage here in Arizona 8 years before it was enshrined in our nation's Constitution. The home of 22 federally recognized tribes, their sovereignty and freedom are integral to our identity as a state and nation. And Arizona also gave birth to one of the largest movements in history with the advocacy of Cesar Chavez. Today, the fight for freedom runs deep. The freedom to vote, the freedom to make personal health care decisions without interference from the governor, and the freedom for the life that you want to live. The Arizona Promise and the American Dream are one and the same. Every Arizonan and every American deserves the opportunity, security, and freedom to live a good life. That's what we're celebrating today, and that's what we must always remember. God bless America. Have a great night, everyone, and thanks for braving the weather. I think I haven't been this cold all winter, so thank you. Have a good night.
Please welcome Legislative District 14 Senate President Warren Peterson from Gilbert.
Good evening, everybody. This is quite the production. I want to welcome you all to the Capitol. Incredible setup here for all the work that everybody did. And we even, I don't know how they managed, but they even brought in the storm clouds. And that is not easy to do here in Arizona. So this is great. It's a real honor and a privilege to be with you to celebrate the rich history of the greatest nation ever known to mankind. On this night, 250 years ago, Paul Revere, a silversmith out of Boston, rode to Lexington, Massachusetts to warn the Minutemen and residents about the approach of British forces. one if by land, two if by sea. This was the secret code that was part of Paul Revere's plan to warn of an impending attack. One lantern in the steeple of the Old North Church indicated the British were marching. Two lanterns indicated the British would cross the Boston Harbor. The pivotal moment in the American Revolution enabled Revere's fellow patriots to prepare for a historic battle. While his ride happened without any fanfare, this advance notice from Paul Revere ultimately paved the way for our independence from British colonial rule. Tonight, we celebrate with two lights here at the Capitol for all to see, marking the significant anniversary and the beginning of the 250th anniversary commemorations that will lead up to the Declaration of Independence. Paul Revere's courage, service, vigilance, and perseverance in the face of adversity serve as timeless reminders of the sacrifices made for our freedoms and the continued sacrifices required to preserve those freedoms. From the brave men and women who selflessly serve in our United States military, to the grassroots groups scattered across Arizona that are working to build a stronger tomorrow, to our educators who are shaping the future of our nation, to the law enforcement officers protecting our neighborhoods and our borders, to the farmers and ranchers who provide our food and fiber, to the miners who extract copper ore from our lands to meet the demands of our growing transportation, technology, and energy needs, to our everyday working class families providing the structural foundation of our communities. It takes an all hands on deck approach to protect our liberties for the generations to come. We must unify in the face of adversity. We must unify to carry forward the work that has been shaped in our nation. We must unify to reflect on the courageous individuals who paid the ultimate price so we can enjoy liberty today. We must unify in support of the patriotism that is the United States of America. And we must unify in never taking our freedoms for granted, because freedom isn't free. With these two lights glowing brightly at the Capitol, let them serve a reminder of the bright future ahead for our nation. In the words of President Trump, we're in a new golden age of America, but our country will only flourish with unity, courage, perseverance, service, and vigilance, as Paul Revere displayed on this day 250 years ago. Thank you. God bless Arizona, and God bless America.
Please give a warm Arizona welcome to His Majesty's Consul General, Paul Revere.
Thank you very much. It is, of course, an immense honour and privilege to be invited to speak here this evening. But you can imagine when I was invited to come here to represent the British, I was probably a little bit nervous because 250 years ago, it wasn't really going that well for us. On top of which, I can't help but think when I hear your incredible national anthem, when I hear about the rockets' red glare and those bombs bursting in air, those were, of course, British rockets and British bombs. And of course we had that whole unpleasant business of the burning down of the White House, which I think you've probably gone over, not least because the famous nature of that paint scheme, I should probably be saying you're very welcome. But of course I felt much safer coming in today, because in spite of the fact you had that cunning system of one if by land and two if by sea, nobody put anything down for the 8:15 Los Angeles to Phoenix flight, which I came in on this morning. So I figured I'd outfox you all. And if only somehow the British Redcoats had had more of these Jaguar Waymo robot taxis, Lexington might have been very, very different. But nonetheless, I think how much we have changed in 250 years since these unpleasant events that happened back then. We today around the world have our British and American forces training and fighting together. Every day in this country, 1.25 million Americans go to work for British companies. And every year, tens of thousands of Brits come here to the great state of Arizona to take in not just your incredible scenery, but also the warmth and hospitality of your incredible people. 250 years ago, when Paul Revere came and said, "The British are coming," I don't think he could have imagined we'd have stayed so long in your warm embrace. But it's a pleasure to be here tonight, and I wish you every success for the celebrations ahead. Thank you very much.
Please welcome to the stage City of Phoenix Poet Laureate Rosemary Dombrowski.
Good evening, everyone. My God, I'm freezing, so I will be quick. Again, I'm Rosemary Dombrowski. I'm the daughter of a combat veteran and a professor of American poetry and literary history at ASU. The poem I'm performing tonight is a rewriting of a 19th century poem entitled Paul Revere's Ride by Longfellow. My poem borrows one line from his, and I use it as both the title and the refrain. The fate of a nation was riding that night. On the 18th of April, 1775, he readied his horse for the infamous ride. He saw phantom ships on the opposite shore. He stirred all the villagers. He rapped on doors. He told barracks of men to march down to the shore. The fate of a nation was riding that night. He mounted his horse, rode into a village, the hooves an alarm for all who could hear them. He instructed the sentinels, go tent to tent, farm to farm, over bridges and bends. The fate of a nation was riding that night. A moonlight specter riding village to village, up and down bell towers, crossing over bridges, his singular purpose like a midnight spell, galloping for freedom, the freedom to dwell. The fate of a nation was riding that night. He rode through the silence, never stopping at all, driven by courage to answer the call. He sounded alarms with his famous phrase, "The British are coming. It's time to be brave." The fate of a nation was riding that night. The morning was bloody, the price was steep, but everyone wanted their freedom for keeps. Freedom in the hoofbeats, freedom you can hear, freedom in the desert, the infamous message of Paul Revere. The fate of a nation was riding that night. Say it with me, everybody. The fate of a nation was riding that night. One more time. The fate of a nation was riding that night. Thank you so much for this honor. Happy birthday, America.
Hi, I'm Laura Tarek, Executive Director of the Arizona America250 Commission, and I am so honored to be able to share with you some of the exciting initiatives, programs, and events that we have coming up. To us, a successful 2026 is a celebration and a commemoration that all Arizonans see themselves in and want to be a part of. Together, we'll tell our state's story. After all, the Arizona story is the American story. Now, to facilitate that work, our commission is broken out into a number of different subcommittees, covering areas such as arts, museums, cultural institutions, civic engagement, community service, history, heritage and historic preservation, military, veterans affairs, municipal outreach and tribal affairs, and travel and tourism. We're going to be very busy over the next year and a half. Now, I would be remiss if I did not celebrate our beautiful, phenomenal logo that honors Arizona's 5 Cs. We are so proud of logo winner Riley Hammett. Proud enough, in fact, that we wanted to make sure we honored her work with an official Arizona America250 t-shirt. You can buy yours today. And all of the proceeds that we receive from these t-shirts goes right back into programming to come to a community near you. Now, I mentioned that the Commission was going to be busy. We are planning so many projects, programs, initiatives, and events. One of the biggest is our traveling museum. We have received permission from Legislative Council to pick up the replica Liberty Bell. Every state has one, and we are going to pair that with historic Arizona documents, art pieces, and interactive exhibits and take it to all 15 counties. It is so important to the Commission that this is a true statewide event. We are going to pack up the bell. We are going to have items on loan from museums across the state to tell the Arizona story, and we will be coming to a community near you. Now, while the bell is gone, we are going to be installing a new ceremonial bell base with our partners from Sun Construction, and we can't wait to pick up items for a 50 and 100-year time capsule as we travel. Now, speaking of travel, we want to provide pathways through the state for national, international visitors, as well as Arizona locals. There is so much to explore and enjoy in our state, and we wanted to theme pathways and excursions based around the 250th. So as a part of this digital passport app, you can look forward to things like Hike 250, Treasures 250, recognizing well-known and lesser-known places in Arizona. Dine 250, we know you're going to be hungry after you're doing all that hiking. Let's enjoy some of Arizona's fantastic cuisine. We will also have Cheers 250, specialty A250 beer. We'll also be working with wineries, distilleries all over the state. Now, Route 66 is also celebrating their centennial next year, so we're going to work very closely with them to honor and highlight some of the many exciting things happening there, too. We'll have Art 250, Read 250, a reading challenge. We'll have Indigenous Travel 250, Downtown 250, Dark Skies 250, honoring Arizona's incredible contributions to astronomy and also highlighting the best places in our state to stargaze. Now, as people stargaze or identify birds or have great meals or hike, they'll be eligible for virtual and physical prizes within the app. We're very excited about it. We are so grateful to our sponsors and our partners, and as a big thank you to them and as a community event, we'll be working with ASU Gamage to co-host a performance of the Broadway musical Suffs, highlighting suffragette history. Now, in addition to some of the big projects that we're working on bringing to your community, each of our subcommittees has their own work that they're doing that they're excited to share. In our Military and Veterans Affairs Committee, they have put together an Arizona Trail Veterans Relay. This is the trail that runs from Mexico all the way up to Utah. It will be divided into sections and then completed by military members, their families, our veterans. They'll be hiking, horseback riding, biking along the entire length of that trail. The Civics Committee is looking forward to becoming authorized to bestow the President's Volunteer Service Award because we know there's great work happening already in communities across our state. Now, as students engage in Arizona America 250 activities, those will be counted toward the Seal of Civics Literacy if that's something they're working toward on their high school diploma. You can look forward to public art projects, historic preservation, and more as we mark the Semiquinncentenial. Thank you to all the sponsors who have already invested in Arizona America 250 thus far, but we're not done. In fact, we need your help. You can be a part of all of these fantastic programs and initiatives. In fact, we'll need your help to bring it to a community near you. Please click on the QR code to donate to Arizona America 250 today, and every cent that you do goes into helping our state celebrate the Semiquinncentenial. Thank you so much.
This evening is about our country's past, present, and future. For the reenactment of Paul Revere's ride, Secretary Adrian Fontes will be joined on stage by community leader Ginger Sykes-Torres and logo contest winner Riley Hammett. They will greet Riley Anforth from the world's oldest rodeo in Prescott, Arizona, riding her American quarter horse, Zona. Our rider symbolizes the past, our gathering the present, and our youth the future.
As we gather under this night sky here in Arizona, this moment really captures Paul Revere's ride. And yes, we did special order some Boston weather for tonight, so enjoy. I'm going to cut out a bunch of this for everyone's comfort, please. Tonight we reflect on the journey that brought us here and the shared commitment that lights our way forward. Just behind you here, audience, you will see Riley and Zona reenacting the ride of Paul Revere. With these lights, we affirm our shared responsibility to stand together, to support one another, and to continue the work of building a just and equitable future. As the lights shine, let them remind us of the enduring power of community and the boundless possibilities of a united people. Friends, in 1775, 2 lanterns in Boston served as a warning, signaling to brave patriots that it was time to defend their rights and their communities. Tonight, we recreate that spirit of vigilance by illuminating 2 lights of our own. By taking these 2 beams, we commit to protect the ideals handed down to us throughout our family lines, cultural traditions, bold visions. May they shine to remind us Arizonans that we are a part of a blazing lighthouse of stories that illuminates the founding days of this very moment in the desert night. May these 2 lights stay with us long after we leave here tonight and inspire us to act with courage whenever we may need it. There they are. You see them? That's pretty nice. Thank you very much.
Friends and neighbors, please welcome back the 108th Army Band's Brass Quintet, Arizona Army National Guard, for a performance of Simple Gifts.
Hey, Laura's going to come back.
We have illuminated 2 lights tonight. The first commemorating how our ancestors came together for independence, and the second pointing the way forward for our children, grandchildren, and beyond. I invite you to keep these lights in your heart. Let them guide your actions in the weeks and months ahead, reminding you that each of us plays a vital role in this shared journey. For more information, including ways to get involved in upcoming Arizona America250 projects, please visit our website at azsos.gov/AZ250. Democracy doesn't endure on its own. It survives when people show up for it, when we teach our kids about it, when we protect it. That is what America250 is about. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Arizona. Thank you to everyone who has come and will come for helping us all fulfill the American promise. God bless the United States of America. Drive home safely. Good night.
Friends and neighbors, Chair of the Arizona America250 Commission, Secretary of State, Adrian Fontes. Friends, neighbors, we want to thank you for enjoying this unexpected Arizona rain as we commemorate America's 250. Thank you, one and all, for your support for 2 Lights for Tomorrow. We hope you leave here tonight with a renewed gratitude for the sacrifices made by our founding fathers and the liberty and freedom for which they fought and died. May you leave here committed to being a light for your community. Thank you.